leaven being consistent with the seed principle. Great things begin with small things, right? Either good or bad. Leaven in the Bible is actually more seen more as bad, but it's also something that can produce good. Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. A little leaven leavens the whole lump. But Jesus also said in a parable that the kingdom of God is like leaven. It's put in a batch of dough, and it permeates the whole lump, and then until the whole lump is leavened. Because that's how it works in the kingdom of God. Seed principle. A little mustard seed. The smallest seed can become the biggest bush in the garden. That's how things work in the kingdom of God. We've seen in the church how that ministries have grown from very humble beginnings to global ministries. The ministry of Mother Teresa, right? She started with zero balance in her financial statement. Nothing. She had nothing. But she just started being faithful and continued to be faithful. And she even started in the worst slums in India. Same with the monastic movement of St. Francis and St. Benedict. Even the church started in a stable, an animal stable. The king was born not in a palace, but in a trough, a feeding trough. And look at it now, 2,000 years later. Very small seed producing something big. I really like what Mother Teresa said. She said, do you want to change the world? Go home and love your family. That's where it starts. You know, that's where it starts. Go home and love your family. These past almost 3 years now, we've experienced the sting of COVID, right? Coronavirus. And it's an invisible, minute virus that can wreak havoc globally. Napakaliit. Di ba? Nagsimula sa isang town sa China, Wuhan, it's affecting the whole world. Very small. Hindi nga makita eh. Hindi mo makalaban ng maayos, di ba? You have to really be very careful. But it affected us physically. Sadly, it affected us spiritually as well. And it's still here. In fact, I see the spiritual sickness even more than the physical sickness. Ano nangyari? Kasi pag may COVID ka, may mga symptoms yan, di ba? Una, kakatilalamunan mo. Tapos, kakasakit ka, lalagnatin ka, uubuhin ka, etc., etc., hirapang huminga. Of course, the virus mutated and became less and less potent. But spiritually, it starts with, mag-online mass na lang muna ako. Di ba? Online mass na lang muna ako. Tapos, ayan na. Lalaki na yung mga symptoms. Tatamarin na akong maligo. Tatamarin na akong ganito, ganyan. Ang simbahan sa akin ngayon, my idea now of church is my feet on top of a stool and I have coffee or iced tea or Coke or whatever habang nagmimisa. Saan nagsimula yun? Sa maliit na bagay. Compromise. Sloth. That's where it starts. And what we need is a vaccine. That's what will heal us, a vaccine. But, katulad ng mga vaccine na nakuha natin, kailangan mong pumila. Kailangan mong maghanda. Tama? Kailangan mong magbihis ng mabuti. Yung mukha, pati yung mukha mo, bibihisan mo eh. Di ba? Ng mask. But you need to get that vaccine in order for you to be well and stay well. Faithfulness is what we need. Need to be faithful. The parable of I mentioned about the parable of the mustard seed, right? But there's this other parable that Jesus mentioned. It's called the parable of the seed, I think. But in it, he says that this farmer plants a seed, and then he waters it. And then what he does after that is he goes to bed at night. And then, why he does that, the seed grows. How? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He takes his rest. He takes his Sabbath after working. Ganon din tayo when we do something, positive or negative, while we're sleeping. While we're a little rest, a little folding of the hands, something is happening. The seed is germinating. It depends on what we sowed, what we planted. Did we plant faithfulness? Or did we plant laziness or compromise? But it will grow, which is why Jesus said, beware. Beware of that leaven. Beware of that spirit. Because it will grow. It will grow. So watch out. Because faithfulness is the seed from which the tree grows. Same goes for compromise and slothfulness. Where is the seed from which the tree grows? And it will either make you sensitive or it will make you blind and dull of hearing. Yung disciples, Jesus talked about the leaven of the Pharisees and Herod. They thought that he was rebuking them for not bringing actual physical bread. Kasi nawala yung spiritual eyes nila eh. Hindi nila naintindihan yung sinasabi ni Jesus. That's because of what we sow into our hearts, what we plant into our hearts. We launched last year, at the beginning of the liturgical year, we launched what we called the Everyday Kingdom Way. Kikita niyo yan sa labas, nakapaskil. No? Everyday Kingdom Way. And it simply says, be faithful. In fact, with that, we introduced the theme for this liturgical year, for Cathedral of the King and the Diocese, which just simply says, cultivate faithfulness. Cultivate faithfulness. How do you do that? Follow the everyday kingdom way, as we call it. And what is that? Simple. Simple lang eh. Active participation, active involvement, active generosity, active discipleship, active evangelism. In other words, participate. Participate in the church, receive the sacraments, the means of grace, especially the Eucharist. Be involved, be active, give of yourself, grow with your other brothers in the church. And then, after that, you can be sent out to make disciples. But it starts with faithfulness. It starts with faithfulness. Doon galing lahat yan, no? Hindi tayo, there's this song that I just comes to mind. Go forth into the ripened fields. They are white unto harvest. They are. But, he goes on and says, what was sown in tears shall now be reaped in joy. Before you can reap, you have to sow. And many times you have to sow in tears. Hindi ganun kadali. You have to be faithful. You cultivate, ibig sabihin yan, alaga. Hindi yan, nagtanim na ako, katulad nung sabi ni Jesus sa parable, matutulog na ako. No. Bubungkalin mo muna yan, At didiligan mo yan araw-araw, at aalagaan mo yan. You may have to weed certain things, and may have to prune, but you have to be faithful. Stay with it. Then you can expect growth. Don't worry about accomplishing great things. They will happen. Great things, in fact, greater things are yet to come. Don't worry about accomplishing great things. Worry about being faithful. That's the way it is in the kingdom of our God.